Welcome to this Hope to Go. Today I want to talk to you about problems, problems, problems. I've personally discovered a problem-free life only exists in the movies or a cemetery. Problems come whether you invite them or not. Yet God, in his divine wisdom, allows problems in our lives as situations to learn by and not to die by. The psalmist David said it this way in Psalms 9:9. The Lord is a refuge for the oppressed and a stronghold in times of trouble. Big hope truth. God may not deliver you from your problem, but he will deliver you in the problem. And every problem has an expiration date. To the child of God who by faith has surrendered his or her life to Jesus, every problem is simply a miracle in disguise. Daniel, the third chapter in the 19th verse, the deliverance of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, their deliverance did not take place outside of the fiery furnace, but in the fire. They were delivered in the fiery furnace. Daniel 3:24b and 25, King Nebuchadnezzar says, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire?" They answered and said to the king, "True, king." And he answered and said, "But I see 4 men unbound walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the appearance of the fourth is like the Son of God's." Your problems can either build you up or beat you down. The choice is yours, as you can't control what happens to you, but you can choose how you will respond to it. I want to give you some hope to go truth about problems and why we must persevere. A, problems protect us to fulfill our divine purpose. Genesis 50:20 says, "But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring to pass as it is to this day to save much people alive." Like a surge protector, a power surge protector, a problem is often a blessing in disguise if it prevents us from being hurt by something more serious. When rejected and misunderstood, it can be very painful in the moment. But in hindsight, rejection is simply a redirection in God's divine plan. Romans 8:28 says it this way, "And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose." Now, if I never had a problem, I would never know that God could solve them. But B, problems perfect us in our divine assignment. Romans, and it says this in the 5th chapter, the 3rd verse. In the New Living Translation, "We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance, and endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation." Now, problems, when reacted to biblically, are character builders. And I've learned God is far more interested in our character than our comfort. And your relationship with God and your character are the only two things that you're going to take with you into eternity. The Apostle Paul emphasized this truth in Romans 5:3. Again, from the New Living Translation, listen to this. "We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance, and endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation." Big hope truth, the graduate degree of the victorious Christian life is issued by the University of Hard Knocks. And finally, problems propel us forward into our divine destiny. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint." God is at work in your life, even if he doesn't appear to be. And you may not recognize it or even understand that. And this is what an anonymous author once said: "For God has marked each sorrowing day and numbered every secret tear, and heaven's long age of bliss shall pay for the children and what the children suffer here." I love that promise. James 1:12 says it this way: "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those that love him." Remember, problems are simply the factory that God is using to manufacture the right product, character, in our lives. Hold out and hold on. Change is on the way. And that's your hope to go.